Hey YouTube, Make Mine Marvel here with another statue review and unboxing. This is a custom statue. This is the Age of Apocalypse Magneto. This is, you can see here I got an artist proof edition. This statue, it was previewed a while ago, maybe almost 2 years ago. Took a little time to ship and get to me, but it's finally here. There's been some issues with the statue, some paint and some glue marks around the seams and a few things. I know the individuals that are producing the statue are doing everything they can to take care of all the issues, and I think it's working out pretty well. I'm hoping here with the artist proof that it's that I'm not going to have a lot of the issues that unfortunately plague some of the statues. But very excited to get this open, but waiting a long time. This is my first custom statue I've ever bought directly from a producer, and I think this is going to be really nice to the collection. And here, I'm not going to do a review of the box. I rarely ever do, but this is one of the few customs. I know they're becoming more prevalent, but this it's nice that this custom actually came with an art box. A lot of the times, customs are just in a couple of cardboard boxes with a lot of nice foam around it. But this actually had an art box produced for it. The rest of the box looks exactly the same. It's just more of this color maroon. No real pictures or anything on it. But yeah. All right, here's the inside of the packaging. You see here, it's not really styrofoam. It's more of a soft foam. Also, there's no indication of what's that I've seen yet of what's the top and what's the bottom. I think I've got the bottom face up right now, so I'm going to flip this thing around. I know it's got a couple of compartments. It feels like here's a small compartment, so that's probably the top. So I'm going to flip this thing around before I crack this open. All right, here's the top compartment. You get a couple of wires for the base. Looks like here an arm. They got these nice cutouts in here. Seem to be placed and marked real well. See if we can get this out. There's the body of Magneto. Now a lot of the breaks have been happening on the helmeted heads, so I'm hoping this doesn't have that. Looks like one of the heads. That might be the third head that came with the statue. So when this statue was offered as a kit, and actually when it was first offered, it was offered with two Age of Apocalypse heads, an unmasked and a helmeted head and an unhelmeted head. And then the producers decided to throw in a unpainted Jim Lee style head as well. And then the producers decided to go ahead and just say, you know what, we're going to paint that head as well, so we'll give you three painted heads. So anybody that ordered the kit for the statue only got the two heads. The fully assembled or fully painted statue came with three heads. All right, and here is the second compartment. I haven't really taken some of these foam things here. I believe this is another head. Here to be very careful with this because of the hair. Yeah, this is another head. I don't know if anything's broken yet. I'm hoping not, but these hair strands are very fragile. So we'll hope for the best. Doesn't look like it, but we'll see. All right, I'm gonna get the base out first. Okay, and there is the bottom of the base. You can see it's an artist proof out of 80, so 80 of these statues produced. I don't believe that includes the kits. I think there's probably about 20 kits. I don't know. I'm not positive. So maybe a total run of around 100 of these. And there is the base there. This has got a ton of attachments. We still got to put on a bunch of pipes and pieces of metal. It's painted real well from what I can see right now. It looks really nice. So really happy with it. What I've noticed through all the pictures I've seen is that these eyes, when I first saw pictures, people were taking great shots, and the way they're painted, they almost look like they light up. So they did a nice job. I thought they actually had a light up feature in these things when I first saw it. They don't, but they're painted real nice. Now the only gripe I have with this Sentinel Head is that if this was Age of Apocalypse Magneto, This is not accurate to the comic books, the Age of the Apocalypse storyline. This is the normal Sentinel, Earth 616 Marvel comic universe thing. This is the normal Sentinel. That is the Age of Apocalypse Sentinel. So if this was really going to be a really good, put the extra time and effort to produce a perfect AoA Magneto, the Sentinel Head should have been based off of that. That should have been the base. Other than that, that's the only real gripe that I've had with the statue and the way it was designed. Alright, the next piece I got here is just a big beefy piping. You see a peg, and this is what Magneto actually connects to for the base. Alright, so here's a bunch of the other pieces. You get two shards of metal, and then some other chains and pipings and everything that go in to help support the statue. Magneto's arms are separate, and then the body, cape, and the heads are still in the boxes. I haven't taken those out yet. I just want to kind of get the pieces situated and see where everything's going to go first. Okay, so the first piece I put on is this piece here. It's got a peg that slides in here, and then this piece has actually got a little magnet. You can kind of, it's pretty nice. So it's got a little magnet that just kind of rests on this and holds it in place, and the peg keeps it in there. So that was designed pretty well. So now these pieces do have letters on them. You can see that has an H stamped in there, and then the place where they go, geez, I don't know if I can, hope I can get a view of that. Maybe, just barely. But inside there, you can just barely see an H. So they have the corresponding letters to kind of help you figure out where each piece goes. Alright, and then this piece here kind of goes on the end. So this is, little piece that goes right in here on the top of the statue. So that's the head. That's kind of the back of the statue. You can see this piece goes in the eye. This large piece fits into a keyhole here. This piece goes on. This piece kind of just slides right in there. It's real light. It's just a real light piece of plastic. It doesn't really fit in that well. There's no magnet to hold, but there's a little slot for it. The open end sticks up, meaning that end sticks up, and the solid end goes down inside. And then you've got this piece here, which goes on as well, and that helps support the cape and everything. So those are all like the little tube pieces and everything else. All right, let's get Magneto out. All right, so far Magneto looks great. Awesome texturing to the body. I don't seem to have any of the issues with any of the glue lines and any of the boots or where the legs connect or anything. I've got one small little paint mark. I don't even know if you can see it. You can't. It's back underneath. There's like a little tiny paint scratch on the back of the leg there. You can't even see it because it's where he connects. So not worried about it at all. Everything came out great. No glue marks around the hips. You can see I got good seams because this is where a lot of the problems were. Up here, nice clean seams. So I'm pretty happy with that. Doesn't look bad at all. It looks real good. Now to get him into the base, I actually took this whole piece out and I assembled Magneto, because he's got two pegs, one on each foot, into this big piece of piping. Put that in, and then I dropped it into the base. It's too hard to try and angle Mags to try and get him into that while this is sitting in there for me. So that's how I got him in. Alright, and the cape looks great too. This thing's huge. You can see me hand holding it up. It's got a peg in it to support the cape. It's also got another piece over there that kind of helps support it. So the way the cape fits on, you got to kind of angle it over his head and his neck at the same time, lining up the pinhole. You can see it back there in that pipe. Now the one issue with the cape is this casting issue where they kind of cut off in the casting one of the rivets, metal discs up on his collar. All of them are like that. It's unfortunate, but like I said, they're all like that. Other than that, this thing's painted really well. So it's nice. Maybe would have liked to have seen a little more contrast. I've seen John Allred paint up a few, and they look beautiful with a little more, different colors. I think James Tice did a great one too, where he had a little more contrast between the body and the cape. But this was painted very, very well. I think the artist proof is so far doing a nice job. All right, and that fits in beautifully. Slides nice and in. Just take your time on it. You don't want to rub any paint, so make sure these are lined up. There's two kind of keyholes underneath his shoulders, right by his collarbone, and then the peg in the back on the pipe. Turn this around a little bit. I can't see it. The cape's covering. Anyways, it's back there. Just make sure it lines up. All right, guys, this is probably going to be the most important part of the review, because a lot of people have complained that they had a paint mark up in here, which you can see I do, but it's not a paint mark. It's just a little dirt, and it comes off if you just use your fingernail to scratch it off. It's just a little dirt. So I guarantee you, everybody that's been saying they have a paint problem right there, it's not a paint issue. It's just dirt. It'll come right off. I'm going to do that with my fingernail. I'll show you. The arms here, very nice, good strong magnets in the seams. Would have liked if the arms were connected here, the seam would have been hidden more as opposed to around here. It doesn't look bad on either arm. It fits the seam of the suit, so you just think it's more of the seam of the suit, but it would have been even less noticeable if the arms were attached at the forearms. All right, and there you go, everybody. A perfectly clean, no paint damage statue. It's just a little dirt. Use your fingernail, scrape it off. You're good to go. All right, so these are the heads here. I took them all out, put them on the pillow. I moved the statue over to the shelf already where he's going to be. Just because he's so large, I had to take the cape off. I had to take the arms off just to move him. He's too big to move as one big piece. So heads seem to be fine. No issue with them whatsoever. They look good. This little headpiece up here looks like some of the people came broken. Mine's got a little paint smudge down there. It looks like maybe a little glue. I think I can clean that up as well. I would have loved for the hair to have more white highlights in it. You can see it's just an overall gray, almost got a yellowish tint to it. The unhelmeted head version is like that as well. The Jim Lee head came out nice. This head I think is way too small, and I'll do a comparison side by side, but it seems smaller than the other two heads. And the only issue I've had with any of these heads is there's a little bit of missing paint, little paint rub there, but that could be touched up, so no issue. So let me get these heads on, and we can kind of check that out. All right, and there are the heads. The helmet, the AoA Age of Apocalypse head I'm going to keep on. That's the one I'm displaying it with. But you can see here this Jim Lee style head. You can see how much smaller it is. I'm trying to angle it so the angle is exactly the same, but you can see it's not as large. I know that the extended helmet below Mag's chin on the AoA makes it look bigger, but it's not as thick. Width-wise, it's not as long. So this head, it's definitely small, which is a shame. I don't think I'll ever display it anyways, because this head doesn't really go with this statue. I ordered the Sideshow Magneto as well. This head does have a lot of, it's hard to pick up, but it's got some dirt kind of way it's painted on the helmet. I thought when I saw initial pictures that was just, a bad paint job, but the more I look at it, I'm thinking that was intentional. Would have been nice to have more of a cleaner, shinier helmet, yeah, but the way it's painted is intentional to be dirty. That's less so of it, but it's got a little bit of it in there as well. And let me just grab the hair head. All right, and then finally the the unhelmeted head. It looks real good. The face is real nice. I like it a lot. Probably just not going to display it, but I like it a lot. But there he is, next to Magneto. I'm running kind of out of time on how much memory I got on this camera, so got to wrap this up. But very, very cool statue. Extremely happy to have it. Glad I got it in the collection. Got the Age of Apocalypse Alpha and Omega, the gold edition. So, all right, guys, take care. Thank you for watching. Hey, guys. So I kind of wanted to
to recap a little bit more here, I know I ended the video, but I freed up some memory got rid of a bunch of pictures and freed up some memory, allowed me to put this head on, get a little bit more shots for you. I want to make a video that does this thing justice. I meant to say before I ended, you know, he's next to Apocalypse, not next to Magneto, which I like that display. That looks really well together. So I like it. This head here, it's not bad, like I said. Want to put it on there. It does look good. It's a nice looking head. I like the helmet version better. I really wish they designed this as magnets or pegs or something, so these hair strands could be taken out and kind of put into each head, because there's 1, 2, and then there's another, you know, large, let me see if I can get it. I don't know if I can. I'm sorry if it's not even showing up, but a ponytail in the back. Just because now, like, when I take this thing off, I can't even really put this anywhere because I'm afraid, you know, it's gonna break. So I'm just gonna put that head, lie it down on some foam pads next to the side of the statue. But I usually like to keep all the spare parts put away. With this head, I'm scared to do that because I don't want to break into these ponytails. Let me put the Jim Lee head on as well. And there's the Jim Lee head. As you can see, I mean, it just looks tiny, you know? Like, I don't know what else to say. It looks like a midget head. I mean, you look how big his head is here compared to how big his chest is, and Jesus, his hands are the size of the helmet. It's just, the sculpt and paint on it itself is very nice. Not saying it's not a nicely done head, but it is way too small for the statue. So that's never going to be displayed. It's a nice little something extra to have, I guess. Maybe I'll make a little pedestal for it and kind of just stick it someplace near the statue. But yeah, like I said, there's I got the other head. All right, so talk about a little bit about the sculpt on this thing, or the actual production of it. I've been trying forever to figure out who did this thing, and I've been asking around, and everybody that I ask all says the sculptor wants to remain anonymous, doesn't want to be known that they did this. I hope someday the sculptor makes himself known to let us know who it is, because it's beautifully done. He did a great job. You know, unbelievable work on this thing. It's a great statue. Man, I gotta get that head off him. It just looks comical. Wow. But yeah, so it's nice statue. I want to thank all the I want to thank Alex and Santino or Bruno and Danny, who helped bring this project to fruition. And a lot of guys on the Facebook page. Everybody's been real good. Special shout out to James Wallace, who I've been talking to nonstop about this thing since we pretty much ordered it, same time, and both been waiting to get in. He's actually getting his painted up by John Allred. I've seen pictures of it. It looks amazing. So really, really excited for him. Happy for him. Can't wait for him to get it in hand so I can see some pictures of it in his collection. But anyways, probably rambled on a little too long here. Hey everybody, thanks again for watching. I really appreciate it. Up to over 700 subscribers now, so thank you very much for everybody that subscribes and enjoys the videos and everything. Take care. Bye.